Good day and welcome to another fantastic edition of 360 Sport. It's going to be an interesting moment on today's program. My name is Mudashiru Shitu. I'll be your host and anchor in the next few minutes as we look into what has been trending in the world of sport. And away from the city of Lagos, we go straight to Kaduna, where we have the Commissioner of Sport Development talking about Professor Kabir Manto, who is there live in Kaduna to tell us so much about the much talked about Kaduna Marathon, the first ever Kaduna Marathon that is taking place. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Lagos.
It's good to have you, sir.
Thank you very much.
We know obviously that if there's any news coming from Kaduna State, it has to do with the first ever Kaduna State Marathon, tag Let's Run Together. It is not so surprising because we know in the past Kaduna has been giving us a lot of sport personality. But this is the first time there will ever be a marathon in Kaduna State. Tell us how this marathon came about.
Kaduna has been a center of the production of national and international sportsmen and women, that have excelled over time. But the problem is that in the recent past, the attitude of previous governments to sports development was rather not as encouraging. And therefore, the result was dwindling fortunes and the inability of these skills and talent that we have to be efficiently identified and possibly mobilized and to developed to take the proper places that they are supposed to. So our decision as a government is anchored on several factors. One is that we are aware of the fact that sports is an instrument of social mobilization. Sports is also an economic enterprise. It's also a tool for enhancing peace, unity, and stability within the community, within the society, and within the country at large. And it is based on that the governor of Kaduna State, after re-election, identified the major challenges facing Kaduna State as a state and our society in general. And what is this challenge? The challenge is that in Kaduna, for instance, the population by 2020, is approximated to be about 10 million people. And 75% of these 10 million people actually fall below the ages of 35 years. So what that means is that if you want to come up with policies that will generate, the activities of the majority of the citizens within the society, it is crucial and critical that you have to go in several areas. One of the areas you have to do is you have to invest in education. That is what we are doing presently. Secondly, is we created a Ministry of Business, Innovation and Technology that is actually in charge of the development of skills, technical and vocational education of our younger ones, so that we can teach them how to be self-reliant and enterprising in various sectors of life. And then the third leg of the triad is post-development, which is supposed to be an avenue of identification of talents. When these talents are identified, they are developed so that they become useful citizens to themselves, to their families, their communities, the state, and to the nation at large. And so, a ministry that is dedicated to social development was therefore brought in place. We don't have a Ministry of Youth and Sports or Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, as you have in several parts of the country. We have a Ministry of Sports Development. So we have since identified that one of the most important things that we must do as a government in order to engage our arrested youth is to be able to investing in these two other areas and also open up the sporting arena as an avenue of identifying talent of those that are talented, those that have the skills to participate in several other games. And so we have done a lot of things. We have done Kaduna State Sport Festival in preparation to the Edo 2020, which unfortunately could not happen yet as a result of the Corona COVID-19 pandemic. And then we've also taken back sports to the schools level. In Kaduna State, we have always had what we call the Kaduna State Sports, schools, inter-schools sports festival. It didn't happen in more than a decade, but we were able to bring it back early this year, and we held it. And so one of the outcomes of our constant interaction with the young people, with the relevant stakeholders within the community, was how to come up, how to evolve new ways of exposing the talent. And by the way, I hope you know that Kaduna belongs to the part of Nigeria where the topography support long distance racing. All right?
Yes, sir.
Little wonder you find the best coming from Kenya, from Ethiopia, and other such places. The endurance of these people actually is principally built on the topography, among many other several factors, of which I would say Kaduna State luckily has all these, futures. So we came up with the Kaduna Marathon in order to not just, invite elite athletes and other, runners from across the continent of Africa and Nigeria, as well as in Kaduna State, to come and run and compete for laurels, but also to be able to expose the young ones that we have that might be talented in such long distance race, so that it becomes a permanent feature. And by the way, the current record holder of marathon race in Nigeria, incidentally, Abbas Mohammed, also hails from Kaduna State. So it's not by accident, it's a deliberate intention of government to ensure that these long distance races that we have comparative advantage over several other parts of this country is introduced so that we can, ginger the community, bring about, a sort of interaction that will not only favor the, trade and economy within the state, but also a kind of social mobilization that is very much required amongst our people. And we also want to abuse the minds of several other Nigerians and members of the international community that have been made to believe that the degree of instability within Kaduna State is so massive that it is impossible for anybody from outside to come. So these are some of the reasons actually that informed our decision as a government.
Okay, interesting, sir. Can you tell us what the outcome of that meeting as regards to Kaduna Marathon, the outcome of the meeting that took place at the state government house, where we had all the stakeholders that is involved in this meeting? Tell us the outcome of the meeting.
Well, what actually, like I said, this is we wanted community involvement. We wanted the community in Kaduna, in the state, to own up, to own this entire race. It's not just about running to win laurels. It's not just about running to win medals and cash prizes and so on and so forth. It's also about encouraging the community to participate. And let me tell you, there's going to be various categories of this race. We have a category of those that are under 18. We have the men race, and we also have space for the elderly people within the society that may not necessarily run, but they would like to walk over 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers, 5 kilometers. And that's why the Kaduna Marathon is a half marathon, because it's going to be a 21-kilometer race. And within the 21-kilometer race, we have 2 other compartments. That's those that will run 5 kilometers, there will be those that will run 10 kilometers, and eventually those that will run 21 kilometers. So the essence of the meeting in Government House with the stakeholders was for us to explain how far we have gone, the motives of the marathon race, and what the Kaduna State government desires to do in order to mobilize the society so that the entire state can own this marathon race and see it as an integral part of their well-being. So it's a social mobilization effort, which I will gladly report was massively successful. because all the stakeholders that were invited, bought into the idea and promised their contributions, and in fact, they are contributing in one way or the other in facilitating the smooth conduct of this particular race. So it was a very, a very convivial, friendly atmosphere, and the discussions were quite vibrant and were quite enriching, because the Central Planning Committee under the leadership of Jimmy Lawal, brought up the issues, and we received, tremendous positive contributions and comments from the stakeholders and promises. And in fact, from that stakeholders meeting, more than 20, 30, stakeholders representing various institutions have joined the Central Planning Committee to the extent that we are now on the same page, going ahead to carry out this event in November.
Okay. Yeah, well said. We go on this quick break, and before we go, let me set your mind on what my next question will be. It's obvious that there'll be registration fee, costs registration fee 3,000 and 5,000 naira, and I want to say why not free for all for the first time?
Well, it will not be free for all. What we are doing at the moment is encouraging our political stakeholders, that the members of the Kaduna State House of Assembly, members of the Kaduna State Executive Council, local government chairmen, our representatives in the House of Representatives, our representatives in the Senate, to own up and take a leading role by ensuring that they subsidize or possibly procure a large number of these forms for their constituents that may desire to participate in this competition. So yes, 5,000 may be quite a large sum of money that someone who probably can run 21 or even 42 kilometers is unable to afford. 3,000 can also be too much for an under 18 Nigerian who desires to participate in Kaduna Marathon. But what we are saying is that we are encouraging the stakeholders, that is the political stakeholders, the business community, to come in and support the various people that are outside of Kaduna State and purchase this form so that they can distribute them free of charge in order for them to be able to effectively participate in this competition. Yes, I agree with you. The times are hard, and it's not easy, for many people to afford that sum of money. So that's the strategy we are doing. But I also want to let you know that one of the most important things about the Kaduna Marathon is the fact that the Kaduna State government is spending zero kobo, okay, in the execution of this race. Stakeholders, business communities, interested individuals are all footing the bill. Okay, so it's at no cost to the government. In fact, at the end of the day, the government, the business community, and the people are bound to benefit, from the preparations, the conduct, and the fallout of the Kaduna Marathon. We're making every necessary arrangement in order to make sure that a level playing ground provided so that the skills of our very young people that are talented will be made known. And then from there, the way forward is that we would like to also see our runners participate in some of the world's, renowned and very, impeccable marathon races.
Yeah, Honorable Commissioner, stay with us. We'll go on this quick break, and when we come back, we're still going to talk about the first ever Kaduna State Marathon.
Ministry of Sports is supposed to provide the technical guidance and coordination, and then of course the ministry is also supporting and will continue to support the secretariat, help the technical officials, provide rail barricades and on the marathon route. This is very, very important. There are flash points where if you're having this type of activities, it's necessary that you must provide these barricades so that people do not rush in and obstruct the athletes while running. The Ministry of Education is a very critical stakeholder too. we will urge the Ministry of Education to ensure that maximum participation of students and teachers, just like the chairman has said a few minutes ago. And of course, Ministry of Education will also coordinate and ensure participation of all tertiary institutions. We are very pleased to see the major tertiary institutions in Kaduna State, ABU, Kaduna State University, Nuhu Mali Polytechnic, Kaduna Polytechnic, are ably represented in this meeting. This is, a sign that all will be well by the grace of God. So the task is with the Ministry of Education and these institutions to ensure that we have maximum participation on the part of staff and students of these schools.
Welcome back. We still have the Commissioner of Sport Development in Kaduna State, Professor Kabir Manto, still in the house. And Professor, we'll be looking at the terrain that most and potential athletes will probably follow. There's a lot of things set out, but we've not seen the starting point. We've not heard so much about the starting point and the finishing point in this 21-kilometer race. Can you describe the terrain of the race for us?
Well, I hope you know, and I'd like to announce that Kaduna is undergoing what we call urban renewal. If you walk into Kaduna today, you will see the number of very heavy infrastructures in form of roads that have been constructed. A lot of them have been completed and a lot of them are underway. We intend to use the marathon. One of the major reasons why you do marathon race to be able to expose the historical artifacts and the beauties that you have in these cities where these races are run. In Kaduna, we have a lot of historical sites, and we intend that the route is going to cover 3 major local government areas. It's going to cover Kaduna North local government. It's going to cover Kaduna South local government. It's also going to cover Chikun local government area. These are all local government areas that are contagious, that are also, within Kaduna metropolis. We intend to start the race from Murtala Square and run through, Patrick Yakoa Way and come out through Narai High Post, through Aliyu Makama Road in Barnawa, that is Kaduna South, and then come back through Ahmadu Bello Stadium, and then go through Independence Way, and then finish the race again where we started in Murtala Square. And the whole distance of all this actually covers a 21-kilometer space. So the routing has been done, and we ensure that the road we provide a lot of protective measures. We provide a lot of security to ensure safety, not just safety in terms of any fear of crime, but safety in terms of the possibilities of zealousness on the part of the audience to rush in and obstruct runners or cause any such havoc. So the routing has been identified, it's been identified, and what we are doing is that before November 21st, by the grace of God, wherever we identify any major or minor issue, we will be able to rectify so that we'll have a smooth race. Of course, we will not invite elite athletes to come and run in an environment that is, corrugated on roads that have a lot of potholes or in areas where there is a major security. So all these things are factors that Kaduna State government is putting in place, and we're working very closely with security agencies that also constitute a major part of the stakeholders that we are meeting with. They are part of the planning committee, and I assure you that it's going to be a history marathon race.
Okay. Yeah, Commissioner, finally, I'll ask you, under 3 years, the Access Bank Lagos City Marathon got a bronze medal label for the race. And I also want to ask about the prize money. But do you think Kaduna Marathon can get a bronze label under 2 or 3 years? And give us a little bit about what the prize money consists.
Well, yes, I think it's possible. As you know, this is the inception. This is the first time we are doing the race, and so the prize minimum may not actually compete with what you have in other places. But it is handsome, it's attractive, and I'm sure any runner that will win, between the first 10 will be able to get substantial quantum of money as prize, arising from the victory in the race. Yes, we have a lot of sponsors, like I said. Ours is not like Access Bank, Lagos Marathon, as well. We have Olams, the largest hatchery in Africa, south of the Sahara, Olam Feeds, and it's a conglomeration of a very big agricultural company that is one of the title sponsors. Apart from Olams, we have the African Iron and Steel Company that is also situated in Kagarko local government area on the way to Abuja, Kaduna State here. They're also a major sponsor. We have also, approached many other, Nimasa and other, we've approached the UBA and several other sponsors that will join us, and they will enjoy the advantage of patronage through our branding and so on and so forth in this competition. So the prize money is good enough. It's in 2 categories. There is one for the elite athletes and other international participants, which is denominated in dollars, and the prize money, of course, is for both the male runners, the male winners, and the female winners. Anyone that comes first to 10 on marathon races are entitled to some prize money, and that we are going to do. There is a second category, which comprises of, national and other local runners that will run, and whoever wins between the position of number 1 and number 10 will also have cash denominated in naira as the prize money. So it's basically in 2 categories. For the international athletes, denominated in dollar, in hard currency, and then for the local athletes, for the national athletes, we are going to give the prizes, denominated in Nigerian naira. So basically, like I said, and of course, it's very handsome, it's very attractive. But the governor recently, announced during the press, the initial press conference that he held last week Saturday, that the prize money for Kaduna Marathon is going to incrementally rise, with the race. For instance, if we are given, say, for instance, $10,000 for who comes first, it's likely that in 2021, we're going to jack it up to either $15,000 or $20,000. So it's going to be incremental. And I assure you that our sponsors, after the successful conduct of this first exercise, are going to see the enormous benefits to the extent that they will commit more resources, and then many more will be sponsors who will be willing to indicate their interest to sponsor such activities due to the obvious advantage that is going to bring to their business organization. So we are good to go. And like I said, the prize money is attractive, and I'm sure a lot of elite athletes. By the way, we have appointed a very reputable consultancy firm, the Lion Sports Management Company, which is one of the best. They are also involved with the Lagos Marathon. They are consultants. They are making all the necessary contacts with elite athletes, with other national athletic body, with the how much Athletics Federation of Nigeria, etc., etc. We are not leaving any stone unturned in making sure that we actualize our dream of making Kaduna not just a sports center, but also a tourist attraction, and thereby improving on the quality of life of the people by social integration and association as a result of sports such as the Kaduna Marathon.
Yeah. Thank you very much for being part of today's program and giving Nigerians a preview of what to expect at the Kaduna Marathon 2020. Thank you very much, and Honorable Commissioner.
Thank you very much, Mudashiru.
Thank
And
you
have a
very
good evening.
Thank you very much, and have a wonderful evening. This is all we could take on today's program. I really appreciate viewers from across the globe for being part of this. Like I do say at the end of every program, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.